With you all week with games of the day. This is the first of two here on day one, all leading up to the championship game on Saturday. We are at Slimy Brothers Slicer Complex in St. Charles, Missouri for our first game of the day. We are in pool play today, and we are starting out in Pool C. It is the Chicago Comets, seated 8th in the preliminary bracket, against the Cleveland Scrappers, seated 13th. This game is sponsored by IFB Solutions, by New View, Oklahoma, also by
the Ed Fitzpatrick team at Cross Country Mortgage, the women of our league, Emo's Pizza, and Tucano's Brazilian Grill.
Also local sponsors of Beat Baseball all week long. Of course, our presenting sponsor, Mind's Eye Radio, the St. Louis Lighthouse, Cardinals Care, Hannigan Team Realty, and many more that we will get to throughout the day. Well, Rosina, it's a nice, bright morning. It's not too hot, not too cool. It's really ideal conditions for Beat Baseball, and we've got two of the NBBA's true blue bloods here today. In fact, Chicago has sent a team to every World Series since this began in 1976, and the Cleveland Scrappers have been around since the 80s. So we've got an old school Midwest matchup. These teams are longtime rivals, and I look for a low scoring game today.
Well, so we did have the coin toss earlier, and Comets are going to be the home team. So we're going to get started here in just a few minutes as the Comets are taking the field. I just want to tell you a little bit more about IFB Solutions. Are you seeking a job or looking to build your ideal workforce? IFB Solutions is here to help. For job seekers who are blind or visually impaired and interested in work-at-home customer service roles, try to explore some career opportunities with IFB Solutions and experience the empowering impact of employment. If you are an employer and you need reliable call center workforce, IFB Solutions can connect you with skilled, visually impaired professionals who deliver top performance, low turnover, and will enhance your customer service team. For job seekers, please email them at careers@ifbsolutions.org, or you can call Brent Burkholder, the HR Project and Recruitment Manager. His number is 336-245-5611. Employers, you can contact Shannon Satterfield, the Director of Professional Services, at 336-618-0115, or S. Satterfield, that is SSATTERFIELD, at ifbsolutions.org, and partner with IFB Solutions today.
So the Chicago Comets are on the third base sideline. The Cleveland Scrappers are on the first base sideline as we get ready to go here. We are pretty well directly behind home plate. The scorer's table in front of us. Our home plate umpire for today is Kemp Price. He's been doing this for a long time. And our official scorekeeper is Brad Farmer.
We are just about ready. Comets are set up in the field in their red and blue jerseys. Scrappers are setting up at the plate with Jeffrey Dell first in their blue and gold. And we are ready for that first pitch.
Here we go. 2024 World Series of Beat Baseball is about to get underway.
And that's going to be a strike as it slides under the swing.
Jeff Dell, a veteran player for the Scrappers. He's been around about 20 years. Right-handed hitter.
It's going to be a short little pop that rolls up right back to the catcher.
And now we have contact from Kevin Barrett, the Cleveland pitcher. He's been around at least since the 90s.
It's going to be a line drive over out into left about midway as he runs towards third. Dustin scrambling for it, and I believe that is going to be an out. That would be Dustin Youngren out there in mid Well, he came up quite a way.
And they're going to have to charge on these fields sometimes. These are slower fields than what we saw last year in Norman, Oklahoma. The balls are not going to travel as fast or as far on the ground. I predict scores are going to be much lower. In fact, I think the first team to 10 runs wins this game. They're that slow.
Grass is exceedingly tight and thick. It's not rolling quite as far. This is going to bring us up to Stanley Griffith for the Scrappers.
We're setting the field. Bases, please.
Got that base check.
Play ball.
Stanley was an all-star defensive player last year, and he's been a perennial all-star on the defensive side. He's a player to watch for Cleveland. Batting in the second spot.
And just barely catching a tap on that. And right back and hit the cooler at the scorekeeper's table. A little grounder, just barely going to the pitcher.
I think the team that gets the most balls in the air are going to win this game today. They're pretty evenly matched on these fields.
It's going to be a little pop-up foul over on the left.
You hear
JT
Herzog, the Comet coach, having a couple of his defenders move in a little bit out of respect to these slow fields, what we were just talking about. JT has been coaching the Comets since 2002, announced his retirement earlier this season.
Last World Series.
And if we were to talk about all of the contributions he's made to this sport, we would be here a while. Won it all back in 2003 in his second season.
It's going to be a little grounder going to center. Short and right, just barely fair as he runs for first out. Alex running up there, and that is going to be safe, putting the Scrappers on the board.
That was a foot race immediately, and again, man, when those balls are hit short, you've really got to charge that 40-foot line on these fields because they are not going to make it out to you. And Christian just beat that out, like we said, with some speed there. Ties it up at 1. This is a great complex for beat baseball. There's not a lot of sound other than occasional planes flying over, the grass, the field. By Jeff Dell, and so a bang play, 2-1, Scrappers.
Bringing Stanley up to the plate.
Stanley grounded out to Rich Schultz.
It was a good job for them to back up their teammates, but just not quite quick enough.
Thank you. Play ball.
Stanley Griffin. And just getting a touch of it, but making contact. Of life. It's not what you can see, it's what you can be. With comprehensive clinic and low vision services, meaningful employment opportunities, and engaging community programs. As we all know, it's out there in the community, changing those views of what blindness is with New View Oklahoma. Check them out at nvoklahoma.org.
As we said, they were a presenting sponsor of last year's World Series. This year's presenting co-sponsors are Mind's Eye Radio and the St. Louis Lighthouse. They've done a great job already. We had opening ceremonies out here with Reginald Wilson singing the national anthem. We had Jackie Joyner Kersey throw out the first pitch before the Women of Our League game.
That was a personal Inspiration for me right there. Watched her with many, many runs
I
and
remember
events.
as a kid back in the 80s, and she's a native of East St. Louis, and boy, they had some outstanding sports athletic teams back in the 80s and 90s. Still do, but boy, they were nationally renowned for producing athletes back in Jackie Joyner Kersey's day, so it was good to have her out here.
It's going to be Alex Camino up at the plate for the Comets. Yeah, she was one of my heroes for sports.
Here we go, bottom of the second, Comets down 2-1.
Alex with a strong exhale, reaching way back, and a quick nod to Chad. He's ready. And just underneath the swing. Pop up. Let's see if that's going to be fair. It's going to be dropping center field. It is fair. Stanley's running up for that, and he is out. That is out by Stanley.
It's a good play.
That was about a 100-foot pop up there, about 5 to 10 feet just past that 40-foot line.
But these balls are taking true bounces. They're hitting and either sticking or taking true bounces. So Stanley did a good job tracking it. He knew exactly where that ball was going to come down. Made a good play on that ball. 1 out.
So we're going to have our pitch hitter here on the Comets. This is not Alex Gillespie batting right now. Trying to figure out who this is. Number 10. I don't see him on their roster. Oh, he does say Gillespie on it, though.
I do believe this is Alex Gillespie.
Okay, this
there.
is. He's just wearing a different number jersey.
The numbers
there.
don't match our rosters. So we're going to do the best we can here.
Just taking a check with the field if they can hear with that out there. Kemp try to keep things moving. And just getting a taste of that.
They're on schedule now. Now they just have to put it in play.
Oh, it's going to be a pop-up right back over here to the scorekeepers.
You don't like me.
Alex back crouched at the ready.
Ooh,
And that is going to be out.
Come on, defense!
That's going to start them all over with Rich Schultz.
He has the lone run for Chicago back in the first.
And they are trailing by 1 currently.
He is their lefty. So let's see if he can go to right field again. That worked for him the first time. As we said, there are 20 teams here. They are all playing in this time slot. So this is one of 10 games going on around the complex. We'll update you on that as this goes along. But these teams are moving very quickly, which we like.
And a little high just over the swing. And just a little on the outside. Trying to catch some air time. And getting a bouncing grounder right down the center. Stanley trying to grab it with his feet. Bounced off his feet as Rich runs towards first, but he's got it. He is out.
Nice team defense. See how they backed him up there? Good job. It's a big play for Cleveland, and they held them 3 up, 3 down. Cleveland got 2 in the top half of that inning. The Comets got none back. It's 2-1 Cleveland going to the third.
As we're going to the third, let's talk about the Ed Fitzpatrick team at Cross Country Mortgage, one of our All-Star Club Game of the Day sponsors, making every mortgage feel like a win. Navigating the mortgage process doesn't have to be overwhelming. When you work with Cross Country Mortgage, or CCM, you'll collaborate closely with a licensed professional who will make sure you get the mortgage that you deserve. The entire team is available to assist you from application to closing and beyond. They work tirelessly to remove the frustration from the mortgage process and provide you with a personalized experience. Get in touch with Beep Baseball fan and loan advisor Ed at ed.fitz, that's ed.fitz at ccm.com. Make every mortgage feel like a win.
This game is in bracket C. There are 5 pools, or brackets if you will, with 4 teams in each bracket. The other game going on right now opposite this one is the Indy Edge and the Boston Strong.
So the sun is finally starting to make its way up in the sky. There's not too many clouds. From what I hear, it's going to be a lovely temperature all week for us, not that burning heat, as we're ready for the scrappers at the plate. This is going to be Steve Miller. And I don't think he has a band. Oh, and he threw the bat plumb clear out into short left field.
And under our new rule, this rule was just adopted here for this year's World Series. If you throw the bat, if you lose control of the bat, of course nobody does it on purpose, but if the bat comes out of your hands and it travels more than 20 feet, it is an automatic out. That's a safety precaution rule, and so that will count as a strikeout in the scorebook. That's unfortunate. We saw it happen a couple of times at local tournaments this year, especially in the tournament in Oklahoma where it was kind of wet. And this is the first time we've seen it here at this World Series.
Yeah, flew out probably a good 60 feet out into left field. But at least it did not hit anybody. Pitchers all right. This is going to bring Christian up to bat for the Scrappers.
That can be scary and potentially very dangerous because, of course, all of the fielders out there are blindfolded. So even if they have usable vision, it's covered up, so they can't see anything, and so they wouldn't know a bat was coming at them until it hit them.
Bases, please. Thank you.
Getting that base check for Christian.
Keeley scored the first Scrapper run in the second. See if he can do it again.
It's going to be a bouncing grounder, short center as he runs for
foot
first.
race.
But I believe
He got it.
Alex has that. Yes, that is going to be another out.
I believe that is Daniel Hernandez, the designated fielder, playing up short for the Comets. He's a good one.
Oh, Daniel.
47, Daniel Hernandez. Daniel, my brother, while you're on the musical twist over there, as they call him. I take it off of an old Elton John song.
Yep, I know that one. You are wiser than me. There's going to be Antonio up to the plate.
Antonio Devine. He's in about his 3rd or 4th season, and he's improved every year. He played a year or 2 with the Tyler Tigers while Cleveland wasn't attending the World Series, and now that Cleveland's back, he's back with Cleveland.
We're set to fit. Set to field.
Had
Bases, please.
check the handle on that bat just a minute ago.
Let's play.
Kemp Price, one of 3 generations of Prices that are umpiring at this World Series.
It's going to be a grounder out into mid-left, going past Dustin as he runs for first, and he's going to have it. That's putting another run up for the Scrappers. 3-1 lead.
Now that was on the ground, but he had some power behind that ball, so he was able to get it past the front line. But Cleveland looking good right now, and this would, on paper, be an upset. It's early, but it's 3-1 Cleveland, and they're playing well. And we've got another plane flying over. While we have a moment, one of the presenting sponsors, Mind's Eye Radio, the nonprofit Mind's Eye strives to build a more inclusive community by translating vision into audio for individuals who are blind or have low vision.
Thank you. Thank you. Flag.
Big Tony Guy up at the plate, ready for that pitch.
Foul ball.
Just popping off back to our camera.
Strike.
It's going to be a strike.
Strike.
Another strike.
And they will call time.
Tony
More-
putting the
More
bat
about
down.
Mind's Eye. The broadcast information program provides listeners access to long-form journalism and local news. The audio description program enables every person who attends a theater production or museum exhibit the chance to enjoy a rewarding experience. And the adaptive athletics program raises awareness and provides educational and cooperative opportunities for athletes who are blind or partially sighted.
Taking a pass on that pitch.
He's out.
And that's going to be 3 outs for the Scrappers. As
But
the
they added
Comets
one,
come in.
Rosina.
They
They
did. They're
did.
slowly keeping that creeping. It is now a 3-1 game as we head to the bottom of the third.
Was there really? Okay. That's what I was told. Okay, hey, that's fine then.
And again, our All-Star Club Game of the Day sponsor. One of our sponsors for today's game is the Ed Fitzpatrick team at Cross Country Mortgage. They will make every mortgage feel like a win. Their entire team is available to assist you from application to closing, and they will work tirelessly to remove the frustration from the mortgage process and give you a personalized experience. They'll collaborate closely with a licensed professional, and they will get you the mortgage you deserve. Please get in touch with Beat Baseball fan and loan advisor Ed at ed.fitz@ccm.com.
It starts popping like right here consistently, then just turn it down. It should be good now.
We do have the Scrappers still sitting up out in the field as Chad gets a couple practice tosses over the plate. Comets are going to want to dig in here and regain some of this loss. They're trailing by 2 at the bottom of the third.
Some of the other games going on right now in this time slot. The defending champion Indy Edge taking on the brand new Boston Strong. It's the first time we've seen Boston at a World Series. The hometown favorites, the Gateway Archers, they're playing West Palm Beach Braille Bandits right now. And the top-seeded Indy Thunder are playing the Sirens, the all-female team. The New Jersey Titans and Atlanta Chaos are playing. The Philly Fire and SGV Panthers are playing.
And I believe that Chaos might even be short a player as they're battling out there. I think they're
Short.
playing with 5 currently until the rest of their players show up.
Unfortunately, with the air travel problems, especially with Delta, Atlanta's flight got canceled for a lot of their players yesterday, and so they're still trying to get here.
So this is Dustin up at the plate.
Strike.
Just dropping underneath the bat. Shaking it off. And they had to forfeit. That, okay, not officially, folks.
We'll try to get you an update on that.
Strike.
It's going to be a strike.
And by the way, if anybody who's listening to our broadcast has any updates on any of the other games going on around the facility, and you
Please
know how to
send
get a
to
hold of
either
us,
of us.
send it to us, and we will share it with the listeners.
Set. Ready. Set.
Oh, it's going to be a grounder into short center.
Stanley.
As he's got that. He is scooping it up. Let's see. Oh, waiting for, yep. Stanley scooping that up.
Yeah, those ground balls aren't going to work. And when Dustin is on, he puts balls in the air. He doesn't hit ground balls. But these ground balls aren't going to get it done on these fields against this defense.
And they're going to snag it up. It's easy. They're not traveling as far. And they're going to get it.
7 straight outs now made by the Comets since their first run and their first batter of the game.
Giovanni listening to first and then third.
Now, if he can loft one, he can lose one. He's got enough power to hit it over everybody on that field if you want. If he gets.
It's going to be a strike.
But he's got to get lift. Gio not quite as fleet of foot anymore.
Chad with a quick exhale. And it's going to be going foul on the right. About dropping 10 feet outside the line. Chad rubbing some of the sweat and moisture off of the ball there. Giovanni refilling at home plate, and Kemp's going to check his bat, the tape, make sure it's fitting tight. Oh, he's wiping something off the wrap there. And that's going to be up just under the swing. Giovanni leaning slightly forward in his batting stance. And just underneath, that's going to be out as he shakes his head just a little bit and taps the bat with his hand.
That's tough because that's kind of the meat of their lineup. And you get a ground out to Stanley from Dustin and you get a strikeout of Gio. And now you really need a pick-me-up here in this 4 spot from Lemarian.
They are trailing that by 2, and it's going to start hurting now in the bottom of the third. They can't wait too much longer before they try to make that move and inch back forward.
Well, runs are at a premium. You're seeing that already. This is nothing like we saw last year at the World Series where it was a slugfest for most games.
Getting a solid line drive out into right field.
This has a
past
chance.
Kevin. He's running for first. He's gonna have it. That's gonna finally get them that run that we were talking about.
He went oppo, and he went oppo on a line drive, and that's what we were talking about. You got to be able to get the balls past those front line of defense, and then you have a chance. And he ran a good straight base too, 3-2.
Kemp is also checking this bat grip here.
Interesting game also going on at the same time. Tyler and Oklahoma, the Lookouts and the Tigers. That's a rematch game from a game that Oklahoma won earlier this year in Texas.
Alex just got his base check. And a nice line drive right down the center, but it's short to Stanley. Just rolling past Stanley as he heads for third. Stanley scrambling for it, but he's got him.
He had to recover, but he did.
He had to run back behind it a little, but he was right on top of that.
Stanley cleaning up. I think that's his 4th, maybe even 5th putout already in 3 innings. We're halfway through this game. It's 3-2 Cleveland. We got a good one going here, Rosina.
Cleveland making their way back in up for their up at bat. Chicago Comets over there doing a quick huddle as they regather themselves before they head out onto the field. And let's hear about that Women of Our League. We had the Wool game last night. The Women of Our League is a project of the National Beat Baseball Association, empowering the female athletes in the league. Each World Series, the NBBA hosts an all-female game to highlight diversity, equity, and inclusion. Blind and visually impaired female athletes interested in playing beat baseball should contact the Women of Our League at WOOL, WOOL, at nbba.org. And as we saw that exhibition game last night, it was entirely catchers, spotters, pitchers, even our umpire and scorekeepers and base runners were all women.
That was a 2-0 victory for the Southwest Bombshells. Molly Fleming, the pitcher for the Bombshells, actually went the first 4 innings of that game without striking out a single batter. I think she ended up with 3 strikeouts.
On.
She was on. The Divas had a little more trouble putting the ball in play, but it was a competitive game and a 2-0 nice win. Faith Penn and Ashley Malero had the 2 runs that were the difference in that game as we head to the top of the 4th.
The 3-2 game. Scrappers leading, and they are back up at bat.
Thank you.
Couple of blue bloods going at it here. AJ Gillespie.
It's going to be Jeff Dell.
Dell.
And it's going to be a hard fly ball. It's going to go foul just beyond third base.
And he did it again. He was a little bit early. He's been popping them over there, but he yanked it just a little bit, did Jeff Dell, as they're back to the top of the Cleveland order.
If he had been inside of that just a hair,
Easy does it, Jeff.
probably he was already 3/4 of the way down to first base.
So he'll walk it back.
He's walking it back with an easy, happy grin on his face. Getting some instruction from Nathan up there, whispering in his ear at home plate.
We got an all-Texas matchup going on right now, too, between Austin and the Houston Hurricanes. Should be an interesting one over there, too.
Another line drive out into the left. The ball dropped at his feet just past Rich's hands as he runs to first, but Rich recovering, and he has it. That was an excellent play by Rich, kind of tossed out of his hands, and he scrambled right back after it.
45, the veteran, the captain, the leader of this team, and I'll tell you what, he's come to play today. That's about the 3rd good play he's made. He's been the answer for Stanley Griffin so far.
Playing farther over and left while Stanley's up short, but he is hustling. He made it all the way over there to that third base line and scrambled right after that ball. It dropped right about at third base. And again, it did not roll very far after that.
Speaking of Stanley, here he is.
Nathan just adjusting his hips up at home plate, turning them a hair. Stanley nodding.
We're set to field. Bases, please.
Getting that base check.
Away, you. Let's play.
They're telling Gio to be ready. They think it might go to right.
Oh, it's going to be foul.
2 of their 3 runs that I've counted have been to the right field side. So let's see if they try going that direction.
Good.
Stanley refilling at home plate, trying to get situated. He's just barely off of that ball.
Good.
The Comets finished 12th at last year's World Series. Cleveland finished 13th. Both would like to improve on that. Neither one traditionally finishes that low in the standings. The Comets were in the top 6 for over a decade. Been having to rebuild here recently, but they came in ranked 8th.
Taking a pass there.
All right, full count. They've gone as far as they can go.
Well, this year I think we have a little bit of protection between us and those balls rolling back here. It's going to have to get past the scorekeepers before it gets to us.
I was going to say, we've got a little buffer there. We didn't have that last year, and we were getting quite a few of them.
And we have a wait on a plane going overhead here.
The other presenting sponsor for the 2024 World Series of Beat Baseball is the St. Louis Lighthouse for the Blind, assisting individuals who are legally blind to maintain dignity and independence by making available employment, education, and support services.
Full count. Play.
Run a lot of wonderful programs through the Lighthouse.
And all the lighthouses, too. They're spread across the country.
Getting a touch on that. It's going to be a little grounder, just barely fair as Daniel runs. He's scrambling for it. He's got him.
Solid by Hernandez. So defenses, you're seeing the defenses taking over as we thought they would.
of scrambled and almost bumped out of his fingers back over to the line. Then he recovered. He's going to have him check his bat also, since he's been checking everybody else's. Kept checking out the bat and the wrap, make sure it's tight. This is Steve Miller. The Cleveland Scrappers wearing their blue jerseys that have the gold on them. And I also, I've just noticed that they have these kind of upside down V's, 3 of them on each side. Almost look like gills, like shark gills. Got that base check. That was close. See if he can not throw the bat this time around.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But this is a big spot in the game now here with 2 outs in a 1-run game. It's been a quick moving game too.
Very quick. Getting a solid grounder over into mid-right. Over to Alex, stopping it with his body, and no challenge there. He just easily reached down and grabbed that where he scooped it up in his body, and the Comets head back in. So we're heading to the bottom of the 4th.
Bottom of the 4th, 3-2 ball game. Defense is still looking solid. Comets still need an equalizer.
Talking about the women of our league, something that I really liked seeing besides Jackie Joyner Kersey being out there and throwing that pitch is how much they all come together playing on other teams. They all band together to have that women's exhibition project. The women of our league being a project of the National Beat Baseball Association that empowers the female athletes in our league, as we saw last night. Each World Series, they host that game to highlight diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if there's any blind or visually impaired female athletes that are interested in playing beat baseball, you should contact the women of our league at WOOL, WOOL, at nbba.org for the women of our league, and get involved today. You can play even if you are already on a team, or if maybe you're just looking to get started.
And there was a lot out for that last night, so it was a good crowd, and they play that once a year, and so they really get excited for that. And it's a good addition to the World Series of Beat Baseball.
A couple practice tosses there with Chad. We're going to check and see as our spotters are still setting the scrappers up out. This is going to bring Alex up to the plate.
Did you know the St. Louis Lighthouse operates 2 plants, a liquid and aerosol manufacturing plant, and a packaging and kitting facility? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
They sponsor the Camp Barnabas camps for blind kids, space camps down in Huntsville, Alabama, all sorts of things.
They do a lot around here for the blind and visually impaired of St. Louis, and they are a registered 501c3.
And that's going to be a strike. Yeah, my children have taken advantage of many of their programs for opportunities.
For more information, visit lhbindustries.com. 3-2 here.
And getting a bouncing grounder into short left. Stanley running up for that, and yep, that's going to be an easy out for Stanley. Is running for third, but not in time.
Room service, and Stanley was zeroing in on that ball as soon as it came off the bat, and he heard the spotter's call. That's solid.
It's going to start them all over with Rich Schultz for the Comets, left-handed Rich.
This is the part of the lineup that needs to come through for him. Rich has one of their 2 runs, and without Landrum in the lineup, it really falls on Rich and Dustin as the real key scorers. 1 run will tie it here.
And it's going to be a bouncing grounder, just barely fair. Over on the right, Kevin running up for Rich, running for first. He's got a Stanley trying to come from over, but that is going to tie it up. Rich getting a run at first base as Kevin just misses that out.
Any way you can get it. That was the equivalent of a beat ball bunt there. It was too far for Stanley to come over and a little too far for Kevin to come up, and Rich beat it out.
That must have been just a few inches over that line and just inside the fair line. Perfect placement if you don't have somebody like burning up the grass to get to it.
So Schultz 2 for 3, and we're tied at 3 now. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. They need to get Youngren going here.
Dustin is up at the plate right here. White Lightning itching to get on that board. Shaking his head there a little bit and leaning forward, ready for that pitch. Just underneath the swing. Chad has that nice extended arm as he pitched, kind of holds that hand out there like I was taught to do in basketball when you do free throws, keeping that follow through going. And a bouncing grounder over into left. Stanley coming running over to grab it, but he's going to be safe. That's going to have the Comets take the lead.
Speed kills, and that was speed from Youngren. Beat it out. So the top 2 in the order did what they needed to do, and that gives the Comets their first lead since it was 1-0 since the first inning.
Bottom of the 4th, 4-3. Comets have taken a lead finally late in this game with Giovanni up to bat, patiently waiting, nodding to Kemp. Just relaxed and easy does it.
We will not have a game of the day stream at 11 o'clock. We will have one at 2 o'clock. It'll be from Pool E. It'll be the Boston Renegades and the Bayou City Heat, the number 5 versus number 6. That ought to be a good one, Rosina.
That I am itching to see that game. I might go cover the Bayou one in advance just to check some of that out. Oh, just underneath that swing, he almost had it. That probably would have been a grounder though.
Bayou right now playing at the BCS Outlaws.
And getting a solid grounder over into left past Stanley. They're running for it. Is he gonna have, he got it out.
You got him.
That is,
It's a good play.
trying to see. It's 89. That was Christian Keeley over there in left who had that out. Giovanni almost to the base, but Christian rolled over and pulled that up in control.
Other official local sponsors of the 2024 World Series of Beat Baseball, Cardinals Care and the St. Louis Cardinals. Hannigan Team Realty. Andy Hannigan, he's a huge Beat Baseball fan. Major League Baseball supplied funding for the Kids of Our League program. We appreciate that. Beat Baseball shirts and other giveaways.
Got that base check for Lemarian. Getting a short little pop to grounder over in short left as he runs for first. They're not going to get it in time. That little pocket right up there in short left seems to be the secret spot for the Comets as they score another run.
Yeah, they've scored 3 of the last 4 batters at the plate. This is the biggest rally we've seen all game by either team, and now the Comets, much like the Scrappers, now the Comets have opened up a 2-run lead. Runs are at a premium here. 2 runs may not sound like a lot, but in this game, it is.
It's definitely a low scoring, so every run is going to be very important.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's play.
And Comets have the last at-bats in this game, so Cleveland could use an out right here.
Ball just over the bat. As he leans way back behind him with his bat. Getting a time here. Standing at the ease. Don't want to be under pressure all tense when you don't need to be. Outfielders relaxing.
Let this plane clear. That's really the only noise issue other than that bus for a couple of minutes. That's the only noise issue we've had to deal with here. Similar to Oklahoma last year in Norman, those were very quiet fields. We were just baking in 110-degree heat out here.
Very hot. This week is so much more pleasant.
It's a little more humid here, but I mean they call it dry heat, but an oven's dry heat too, so I'll go crawl in one. I'll take 85 and humid over 110.
Grounder into short left. Stanley running right up on top of that, though. He's got it out. Not making it to first for Alex.
So you've seen when they've kept the ball away from Stanley, they've had some success. When they've hit the ball anywhere near him, they've been put out. And that's the end of the fourth inning. The Comets got 3, though. The biggest inning of the game for either team. 5-3 Chicago heading to the 5th.
Scrappers heading in for their at-bat. The Comets herding up over there in a nice huddle so they can regather themselves and get ready to hold them at this. And let's talk about that St. Louis Lighthouse for the Blind. They assist individuals who are legally blind to maintain dignity and independence, making available employment, education, and support services. Again, you can contact them at lhbindustries.com. They are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they are here in St. Louis, Missouri. They operate 2 plants, as you said, DB, and they have diverse capabilities, including manufacturing, contract filling, packaging, and kitting. St. Louis Lighthouse for the Blind, one of our co-sponsors.
They are a registered 501c3, so all donations are tax deductible.
And the list of the programs that they provide is almost too long to list.
Speaking of too long to list, Coach J.T. Herzog of the Comets in his last World Series, again, he was a world champion in 2003. He was instrumental in changing the World Series seeding format. He will be going into the Hall of Fame along with his pitcher, Chad Perry, at the end of this World Series.
Pop up high and short into right. Daniel running up for that, and he has it. As soon as it came down, Daniel had tracked that and was on top of that.
He was all over that, and that was a good quick spotter call to get him there too. When those balls are short and in the air, it's really important for the spotters to get that quick call out there to get the player as close to that ball as possible when it comes down. 1 out.
And I have Antonio. That was Christian at bat previously. We have Antonio up for the Scrappers.
Antonio did score his last time up. He went over toward that right field. Let's see if he can do it again.
Got that base check in. Oh, and it's going to be a grounder over there. Daniel rolled over. It goes past him as he runs for first. There's Richie scrambling to get it, and he has him. Out from Rich Schultz.
Good communication. Richie backed him up. That was a play that Daniel probably could have had. He missed it. You're not going to make them all. And Richie was right there to back him up. And I think I heard Daniel say something to get Richie in position. The fielders are allowed to communicate, of course, during the play. The spotters are not.
They only get that one word comment.
So that's 2 quick outs for the Comet defense in the 5th as the momentum has switched over to the third base side of this field. If they can get 1 more, they're going to be sitting pretty going into the bottom of the 5th, up by 2. But this is important. This is the 6th spot in the batting order here. You don't want Jeff Dell coming up in this inning. You'd much rather him lead off the 6th.
Thank you.
Tony Guy.
Bat up at the ready. Slightly crouched. And that's going to be just under. Nathan getting the catcher to drop his mitt just a hair. And did make contact there, that correction.
Tony Guy was my teammate for 1 year with the Indy Thunder back in 2014. Him and Stanley Griffin both. Cleveland didn't make it that year, and we took them in, and they helped us out.
Strike.
And taking a pass there.
Now they're full, 2 outs, full count. Everything's up to date in St. Charles. We've gone about as far as we can go. I can't say Kansas City because we're not in Kansas City.
And
He's
that is
gone.
going to be out. Sending Comets running, Daniel running back up to his bench,
They're
and the
pumped,
excitement
man.
there.
You can tell that they're pumped. They've got the momentum. They've scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th and then held Cleveland scoreless. Now they're looking for some insurance. Heading to the bottom of the 5th.
Hold that 5-3 game. Comets leading. St. Louis Lighthouse for the Blind. They are that 501c3 nonprofit headquartered here in St. Louis, and as such, one of our co-sponsors for our World Series. They operate 2 plants, a liquid and aerosol manufacturing, and the packaging kitting facility. They package over 300 commercial and government products. They assist individuals who are legally blind to maintain dignity and independence by making available employment, education, and support services, as well as a wealth of programs, of trainings for youth as well. Scrappers almost getting set up there out on the field.
We appreciate all of our Game of the Day sponsors. We will have 2 Game of the Day streams all week long heading up to the championship game on Saturday. So check back. The brackets are redrawn after the first day, which is today, of pool play based on today's results. And so we will know matchups tomorrow, and we will know what streams we'll be doing tomorrow. But we know we'll have 2 of them.
We're here at the Slica Soccer Complex, and our field sponsors are Bill Jones and Sue Slocum, as well as Richard Mark, longtime Mind's Eye donor. And again, that shout out to your power company, Ameren, Illinois.
I like paying my bill once a month to Ameren. They keep my power on, and they keep everything running at the office and the house.
This is Alex Gillespie up at bat for the Comets as we wait for that speed demon I can hear on the highway back behind us, sailing past.
We're setting the field. Bases, please.
Bottom of the 5th.
Thank you. Let's play ball.
Comets leading 5-3 over the Scrappers. Oh, a bee. They're buzzing around Alex's face there. Oh.
I can relate. I got stung by one in that same series I was talking about. That a couple of these Cleveland players were my teammates. I got
It's
it
got to
twice.
be on his neck.
I got
We're
it
going to have to
twice
hold
on
and
the
get
same-
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it twice in the same half inning once from a bee. Once on the back of the neck and then once on the elbow. And
It
one
flew off now.
The one on the elbow hurt.
Readjusting that mask there. After that bee was right on the back of his neck, right above his jersey neckline. Definitely don't need that happening right as he takes a swing.
Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you.
First and third base check.
Now everything's right in the world. Here we go.
Set. Ready, set.
Just catching a tick on that.
Baby. Set. Ready, set.
And getting a grounder foul on the left.
You got it.
He's readjusting at home plate while we also wait for that plane overhead. Silence is critical for the game where the players depend on listening to both the ball and the bases.
We play by ear, literally.
You might even say it's musical. I mean, we've got Steve Miller and Daniel.
My brother, yeah.
Here we go. We got no 2 count. Let's play.
Alex back up, crouched with the bat over the shoulder.
Set. Ready, set.
Oh, just sailing over the bat. We have Rich waiting over to our left with a torn knee, waiting for his chance back at bat.
Set. Ready, set.
And it's going to be a pop-up short left. It's going to roll foul just before third base.
That's too bad, too. That was his most solid contact of the game there. That sounded good off the bat. Chad got it right on his barrel.
He heads back slowly. And Chad heads back to the pitcher's mound. Not a physical mound, just a spot on the infield. Chad's wearing a half face mask there to protect for any of those balls come flying directly at him. We haven't seen that yet, although we did have the swinging bat that missed everybody.
Yeah, we got all 3 count. Let's play.
And this, I'm keeping track, I think this is only the second ball that's been in play. We've had 1 ball change this entire game.
One.
Leave out.
Going just over it. That's going to be an out, sending Rich up to bat.
Here's the top of the Comets lineup. So now Cleveland's going to get tested here. They're down by 2, and they got to deal with Schultz and Youngren.
Richie calling out, asking Chad where he is at.
Schultz has scored twice today.
Field.
Youngren once.
And they did it in that front right pocket last inning. Let's see what they're going to do.
Set. Ready, set.
Oh, just catching his and it bopped.
And
right?
that one almost was
And
caught there
almost.
by Crozina.
I put my hand out, but it was just outside of there. It bounced off the cooler in front of us. And
So-
it popped right up over the base runner.
We said we had a buffer, and we do, but that one was shot back so hard that it actually did come back to us. I thought you were going to make a hands play.
I tried. But. And just on the outside of the bat.
You get style points anyway for the effort.
I leaned, but I wasn't going to go past that. If it would have been a basketball, I might have tried a little harder. Bring back too many memories. Got a plane going on overhead. Rich relaxed at the plate.
No 2 count.
And they're going to yell at this behind us here, I'll bet you, here any minute.
They're taking off.
It's
Chad's just going to wait for that, I believe.
moving. Oh,
And it's going to be a high pop-up over into right, dropping, and it's rolled foul, just as Rich is almost to third base. Kevin Burton running over there to grab that.
right idea, wrong direction. That's what they wanted.
Buzz
But,
in that right pocket.
yeah,
Do it again, baby.
Just got to keep it fair.
the Comets formed in 1996, I want to say, or 7. Dave Smoka would know. He's sitting right in front of us here. They were the Fast Star Comets for the first few years before they changed their name to the Chicago Comets. It was the team I started my career with way back in 1999.
The O in the logo, the Beat Baseball O, has a Comet trail on their jersey out behind the rest of the word Comets. Is
They
Richard.
used to get a ton of sponsorship from Cubs Care, the Chicago Cubs up there, and until before the Cubs, the Tribune Company sold the Cubs.
Plane is almost gone.
The Tribune Company sold the Cubs, and then the Cubs promptly went and won a World Series. Finally.
No 3 count. Let's play. Set. Ready, set.
And just catching a hold of that and dropping down.
Hey! I blocked it at least.
Caught it with the feet.
I might be a little slow getting it though. Hey, watch it.
All three. Set. Ready.
Getting a roll off the top of the bat over behind him. Chad getting back control of that ball.
Hold on. By your motorcycle.
Waiting for another airplane. Which, as many as we've had, it's surprising that we've been running very quickly through this game.
Both teams move quickly. Both teams pitch fast, and they get their players on. When they change up
Off and
sides,
on.
they get them off and on quickly. Yep.
Which is going to be critical coming later in the week when they are worn out, tired, 3 games a day, day after day.
Absolutely.
That exhaustion will start to hit.
Set. Ready.
It's going to be a grounder just barely in center going up. Stanley's going to have that.
Well, Rich battled and battled and battled and finally just rolled one to Stanley Griffin. 2 outs, and if they can get Younger in here, they'll have a chance in the 6th. Only down 2. They got to get another one here. They're halfway. They're halfway there. They need to get this one.
They're going to have to hold them because Comets do have that last at bat.
Yep.
That last chance effort to make up if they have a deficit, and Dustin at the plate.
Set the field bases, please. Thank you.
Giovanni waiting on deck.
Ball.
Now going to have another hold for the plane.
Cleveland will have the top of their lineup due up in the top of the 6th. When we get there, you'll see Dell and Griffin and Miller, and if anybody scores, Keeley, so they'll have a chance. And yeah, this is busier than we were here for a weekend tournament last year, and I don't remember this many airplanes coming over.
No. Was it the heat of summer? All the travel coming into St. Louis. Those last ditch travels before school starts back up.
Thank you.
Got a
Thank you.
base check.
Ball.
Dustin wiping off some of that sweat off of his face there on his shoulder.
Set. Ready.
High fly ball over in deep
crushed.
left, and he is headed for third. He is easy sails for Dustin with
Best hit of the game by either team. He crushed that.
You can hear that crack, super high, far deep fly.
He's got home run power. And off the bat for a moment there, I thought we might be a little bit in that territory, but either way, it did what it was supposed to do. It got a run on the board. So now that's a 3-run lead, the largest lead for either team in this game.
As Giovanni waiting up at home plate as a dragonfly sails by early this morning.
Plane coming.
Yeah, and the fields do seem slightly spaced out, at least where we were sitting. I remember last year, sometimes we even had timeouts due to the cheering from the teams next to us being so loud that we would have to pause and wait. And another plane again. I wonder if it's the time of the day, DV.
It may very well be,
Up right in here by your bag.
because this is busier than I can recall it even yesterday when we were here. There were a few, but these things
Every
are
pitch.
coming every 30 seconds here, it seems like. How many planes can possibly take off and land?
Well, it is a fairly large airport.
It is. That it is, and they're probably playing catch up from all the air
From
travel
all
problems we had
the-
over the weekend.
The
yeah.
backlog.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe one of those planes is carrying the Atlanta Chaos into town.
And it's going to be a line drive, dropping to a grounder just to Stanley Griffith over there, and he's got it. That is Stanley scooping it up, lined himself up as soon as it dropped.
That's why he's one of the best. And that's the inning, but a big run there, an insurance run by Dustin Youngren. Cleveland needing 3 to tie, 4 to take the lead, and they've got 3 outs in which to do it, and the top of the lineup up as we go to the 6th.
And it's starting to get a little more late in the day, and we all had an early start. I don't know how many people ate this morning, but I'm starting to crave some of that Emo's pizza that we had last night, Dave. And it's not just pizza. Did you try any of that toasted ravioli that they had?
I did. It was delicious.
They also have pasta, but I think I'm going to have to stick with that toasted ravioli. Emo's Pizza, sponsor for this game, and they also provided the pizza, as I said last night, for our opening ceremony. So thank you to Emo's for helping to donate and help support all our players out here on the field.
In fact, I had a slice of pizza and I tried the ravioli, so I had a little bit of both just to see, because I'd never had Emo's before.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different pizza, kind of a small cracker crust, and it's cut into squares. I myself prefer not having quite so much crust, so I can have a little bit more pizza.
Correct. Me too. That doesn't mean I don't like the deep dish, the Chicago deep dish every once in a while, but you know.
Well, I have to watch my girlish figure, so I don't need quite so much dough there. So that cracker crust will work for me.
If I ever had a girlish figure, I don't anymore, so I'm beyond saving.
So thank you, Emo's Pizza. This is Scrapper's last chance up at bat here at the top of the 6th, as we have that 6-3 game. Comets leading. I think we might have a substitution possibly. Somebody from Scrappers is up at our scorekeeper's table. I will keep an ear out for that. See what we have here. This is Jeff Dell up at the plate. And it's going to go foul.
Straighten that up.
It's foul on the left. And standing at ease. Not only are we competing with the airport, somebody's got a remote control plane. And it's going to be a strike. Going to be foul, and I did notice that there is a bee back buzzing around our batter, Jeff Dell. Hopefully it will not land as it did earlier on Alex. That's going to be out for Jeff Dell and the Scrappers. That is very unfortunate.
Very
for
unfortunate.
them.
Your leadoff hitter strikes out and you're chasing 3. That hurts, but now you've got Stanley and he's got the speed to score, but he's going to have to get the ball either over to the right side or he's going to have to hit it hard, because Daniel Hernandez is solid over there. Schultz has been solid behind him. Gamino's been solid. So
it's been definitely pulling the weight defensively for the Scrappers there. It's scooping everything up. It's up there with Nathan at home plate.
What I thought, I knew you weren't going to do it.
Retying the shoes there. It was a little bit loose. Going to catch on that.
Where's CJ when you need him?
Kept giving him back his bat.
I can correct the record. It does appear that the Titans and Chaos are playing. There was no forfeit over there.
It's going to be a short pop fly over into left, and Richie running up for that. But Daniel came over, grabbing that up before Stanley could get to third.
27 and 45 have been solid today. Daniel and Hernandez and Schultz have been working well together over there.
He ran completely all the way over, right in front of Richie there. Rich right there back to back him up.
So
Easy out.
With that, Cleveland is down to their final out, and they have not scored a run since the third inning. By my count, they scored 2 in the second,
and the
1 in the
was
third.
their last one. This is
Goose eggs ever since, as the Comet defense is shut down here.
Steve Miller up.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's play.
This
Right. Quiet on the bench, please.
Again, every team will be playing at 11 o'clock. Many teams are live streaming their games, so look for those. Our next featured game of the day will be at 2 o'clock Central.
pop up. Let's see if that's going to be foul. Not fair. Just about to the pitcher. Does have to hit that 40-foot before it is considered fair.
This was an 8 o'clock start. It's 9:34 right now. This is one of the faster games that I've seen in World Series play in a while. You had the fastest championship game on record a couple years ago. Thunder and Jets in 21, the Corey White game. That thing ended, was about an hour and a half long.
It was very quick.
And if you can play a beat ball game in 90 minutes, you're doing good.
It was hot, and they were moving off of that field.
And there was defense like crazy, too. And a lot of contact early in the count. You know, strikeouts slow things down, too. There hadn't been a lot of those.
Took a pass.
It is now or never. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Cleveland needing a run to stay in the game and a full count.
And that is going to be it, as he swings hard, walking up toward his pitcher. That's going to take the Comets to win that 6-3 for the Comets.
So in JT Herzog's last World Series as head coach of the Comets start off with a victory. 6-3 the final. The Comets will now try to go 2-0 in their next game. They will have the Boston Strong. The Cleveland Scrappers will have the Indy Edge.
Also, a thank you out there to Tucano's Brazilian Grill, another sponsor for this game. As well, they're also provided dinner for two for our offensive and defensive MVP of our Wool game last night. And also a dinner for two to our first recognized home run hitter of the World Series. I don't know if there's any in any of the other games we had going on this morning, but we did not have one here. But thank you to Tucano's Brazilian Grill.
I will nominate Rich Schultz for our Hannigan Team Realty Player of the Game. Rich Schultz scored 2 runs on offense, made several plays on defense, and assisted by communicating on a couple of other plays. So on both sides of the ball, give Rich Schultz the Player of the Game for the winning team. Honorable mention to Stanley Griffin. The team came up short, but Griffin